14 injuries on Abhaya's body. Injuries in vagina, on lips and knee.
सीएम अपने रास्ते में नाम उतार के जस्टिस मांगता है, फिर जो जनरल पब्लिक है उसमें जब जस्टिस मांगता है उसको बंद करने के लिए कोशिश कर रहे हैं. क्या ये सब क्या बात है?
Parents cry big betrayal by Mamata government.
Mamata Banerjee-led পদত্যাগ চাইছে, সেই আঙ্গুলগুলোকে চিহ্নিত করে সেই আঙ্গুলগুলোকেও ভেঙে দেওয়ার বন্দোবস্ত করতে হবে.
TMC Neta's brazen threat to protesters. TMC Neta's will break finger threat.
Bengal is not a place safe for women.
Politics speaks over Kolkata horror. Justice for Abhaya. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal, and this evening, as we get to the latest updates on the investigation, we're also putting the focus on the protests that continue for a week and counting in Kolkata. And because of that, the Mamata government has kicked off a crackdown. 65 people have been issued notices, being summoned by the Kolkata police for one reason or another. Now, they claim that this is a crackdown on fake news, but what explains veteran doctors being issued a notice? You've got some TMC leaders dismissing these protesters, saying they're stepping out because they're getting a chance to meet their boyfriends and whatnot. We'll be getting you some of these comments and BJP's reaction to the same. Now, amid the big showdown over law and order in Bengal, Governor C.V. Anandabose is headed to Delhi and likely to meet with President Draupadi Murmu tomorrow. He's going to be in the national capital, and if that meeting takes place, there will be questions about whether the governor is approaching the president to look into matters in Bengal to seek president's rule in Bengal. It's been a suggestion made several times before, but the Bengal governor, Mr. C.V. Anandabose, is headed to Delhi tomorrow. Reportedly has a slew of meetings planned. Could also meet with Home Minister Amit Shah, but what we're hearing is that there could be a meeting with President Murmu as well. This is the big breaking news that's coming in right now. Even as we've been seeing a big political war of words, Governor Bose has been extremely critical of how the TMCs handled the situation, saying that clearly there is an issue of law and order, particularly safety of women has been compromised in Bengal. This is what he's alleged repeatedly, and now he in all likelihood could meet the president tomorrow. Indrajit is joining us with more details on this. Indrajit, Governor Bose is headed to Delhi as we speak, and tomorrow could be meeting with the president, and that will set a lot of tongues wagging on whether the governor is going to seek the president's intervention.
Well, there is a lot of buzz, especially within the opposition BJP. Remember, the BJP itself is the house divided in Bengal over the issue of president's rule or Article 356, imposition of Article 356 in Bengal. While a section of it has always, spoken in favor of it, it was always used as a as a political tool to hit out at the Mamata Banerjee government, while there are others like Shubhendu Adhikari who, in previous occasions have said that there is no requirement for president's rule, and that even Amit Shah has said this during election, that the BJP wants to get to power in West Bengal by defeating the Mamata Banerjee government. However, as you just said, given that the governor is planning to meet the president, he might apprise the president of the overall situation in the state. But remember, clearly pressure is also on the governor of the state. He is also under scrutiny because there have been allegations of sexual misconduct against the governor himself. And there has been a stay on the investigation because he's in a constitutional position. There has been a special team of Kolkata police that was formed by the West Bengal government to carry forward an investigation. However, that investigation could not happen because the governor enjoys constitutional immunity. But this case did go to the court. So clearly, the governor may be going to Delhi. He may meet
Sure.
the president, but as far as the political aspect of it, the opposition will of course raise political temperature, saying, "Look, the governor is going to meet the president, and he might just press for president's intervention or central
Let's see
intervention."
what happens tomorrow when the governor touches down in the national capital. Thanks very much, Indra, for getting us all of those details. There's a lot of pressure on the Bengal government, on the Mamata government. And amid that, particularly because you've been seeing protests happening over the last many days, what does the TMC do? Ideally, they should be reaching out to the doctors who are out there on the streets protesting. Instead, you've got them issuing notices, issuing summons to anyone who questions the investigation or raises questions based on facts. They claim it's a fake news crackdown. And to add to that, TMC leaders are making absolutely bizarre remarks to threaten these protesters. They're making misogynistic remarks. And these are doctors, mind you, who are out on the streets demanding justice for Abhaya, saying action needs to be ensured to ensure essentially that this doesn't happen again. Now, let me just take you through some of the comments that have been made. You have a TMC MP who sparked a huge controversy because here's what he said, and I'm quoting exactly from his comment. It's unbelievable. He says, women are going out with their boyfriends in the garb of protest. Essentially, that this protest is an excuse for couples to mingle. This is a Trinamool Congress MP who's made this particular comment. By the way, there's no notice issued to him. There's no action against him. And then you have another TMC Neta, Udayan Guha, who sparked a controversy because he's warned that the state government will actually go ahead and identify the people who are part of this protest, who abuse Mamata as per him, and break their fingers. This is what he says. He says the state government will identify the people and break fingers of those who are abusing Mamata over this rape and murder case. These are the kind of absolutely shocking, insensitive, and simply horrendous comments coming in, tone-deaf comments by TMC leaders. But no action against any of them. The only leader within the Trinamool Congress who's facing action is the leader who spoke out against the party's handling of this particular case. He's been issued a notice.
আমার বক্তব্য এই ঘটনায় যারা মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়ের দিকে আঙুল তুলছেন, নোংরা ভাষায় সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ায় মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়কে গালাগালি করছেন, যারা আঙুল তুলে মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়ের পদত্যাগ চাইছে, সেই আঙুলগুলোকে চিহ্নিত করে সেই আঙুলগুলোকেও ভেঙে দেওয়ার বন্দোবস্ত করতে হবে। নাহলে পরে এরা বাংলাকে একটা নতুন করে বাংলাদেশ করবার চেষ্টা করবে, কিন্তু ওরা জানে না হাসিনা যে ভুল করেছে মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায় সেই ভুল করবে না, করেনি। তাই আরজি করে ওইভাবে ভাঙচুর করার পরেও পুলিশ কিন্তু গুলি চালায়নি। পুলিশ এখানে বাংলাদেশ করতে দেবে না, সরকার এখানে বাংলাদেশ করতে দেবে না।
জনরোষ হবে যদি হাসপাতালে রোগী মারা যায়, ডাক্তাররা যদি ডাক্তারি না করে অবরোধের নাম করে বাড়ি চলে যায়, যদি বয়ফ্রেন্ড নিয়ে ঘুরতে যায়, তাহলে তো অটোমেটিক হবেই। রোগী যদি বিনা চিকিৎসায় হাসপাতালে মারা যায়, তাহলে মানুষ কি ছেড়ে দেবে গ্রামের মানুষ? পুলিশের
If doctors won't work, instead go out with their boyfriends, what will happen? These are the kind of comments coming in from TMC leaders. If you ask me, they are the ones who should be issued notices. They are the ones who should be summoned. No action against any of them. And these kind of comments continue to trickle in with no consequences whatsoever, no condemnation even from the Trinamool Congress. Let's take this across to the BJP for their reaction. Joining me now is a member of the Legislative Assembly in Bengal, Agnimitra Paul, who's joining us on this broadcast. Ma'am, first of all, the TMC has alleged that the protests that are happening right now have been completely hijacked by your party, that there is a BJP toolkit in Bengal to topple the government. What's your response to that?
See, actually, TMC is in a very difficult position right now, and we understand, to save their face, they need to put an allegation on BJP. The lakhs and lakhs of public, Aam Janta who are coming on the road and who are protesting are not part of BJP. We didn't tell them to come and protest. On the 14th night, we have seen, history has been created in Bengal. We haven't seen these kind of protests. And, public is really angered and they want justice. So even if, TMC says that BJP is trying to politicize the entire thing, they can say it. We can understand their position, and whatever said and done, we want Mamata Banerjee to resign, because till Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister like Mamata Banerjee is there in West Bengal, every day girls will be raped, gang raped, molested, paraded naked in the village, and we will never get justice.
No.
So it's high time she steps down, and we are sure that the way CBI has taken over, the way Honorable Supreme Court has done a suo moto case, our Abhaya's parents will definitely get justice.
Sure, but when you put out a statement like, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee should resign, is the BJP also going ahead and using this as, a means to go ahead and ensure that you gain the political dividend that you need to? When you ask for Mamata Banerjee to resign, you ask for justice for Abhaya, completely fair, because that's what the people also want. But are you seeking political gains? Are you politicizing it when you ask for Mamata Banerjee to resign, ma'am?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Because for this case, there is CBI investigation. What about the millions other cases which are happening? On the 9th, Abhaya's case has happened. And from 9th till today, there has been almost 7 to 8 gang rapes with murder. The throats have been slit. CBI is not given, order to investigate those cases. What will happen to those cases? They will not get justice. What has happened to Park Street case? When Mamata Banerjee became the chief minister, initially, Park Street case, Suzette, she was raped, gang raped. She didn't get justice. In 2013, Kamduni case happened, a terrible, heinous crime. Again, a gang rape. And on 2013, Mamata Banerjee had gone there and she said that I will deliver justice within 30 days. And within 15 days, charge sheet will be handed over. What happened? Till date, CBI wasn't investigating that. That was given, that order was given to CID, the state police. What happened to that? Till date, 11 years have passed, no justice. Kalia Chowk, Ganj, Chopra, I will give you 50 cases of gang rapes which has happened, rapes which has happened. So, Abhaya's case is being handled by CBI, and we know we think we will get, justice. But what about tomorrow? What about day after? What about the other cases which has happened? What about justice for that? Because we know till this government is there, till Mamata Banerjee's government is there, which is a anti-women government, you will never get justice. Because here, the miscreants, the criminals, they are protected. The women who are getting tortured, they aren't protected. Here in West Bengal, when you go to a police station to lodge an FIR, if I am molested or raped or gang raped, Mamata Banerjee's police will never take an FIR.
No, so then in this case...
So that is the reason.
No, in this case, ma'am, the CBI is investigating the case. It's been handed over to the CBI. So you must be content with that particular step. The cops, the moment they got the case, have arrested the main accused, which is why the police maintain press conference after press conference that they've been extremely fair in their investigation. Do you agree with that?
Kolkata police didn't do any job because that is what has been said by the Honorable High Court. I am not saying that. High Court has said that the Kolkata police didn't do anything. From the time the civic volunteer, Sanjay Roy, had been arrested, nothing has been, no progress. Even the statement of the ex-principal of Arjikor, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, hasn't been taken. I am not saying that. High Court is saying. So, we think, we want, we wish that, our Abhaya gets justice in this case. But it is very difficult because Mamata Banerjee and her government has taken all initiatives of tampering the evidence. So we are skeptical whether CBI will be able to deliver justice.
No, that's
because
a serious
there is the evidence.
Charge.
Everything has been finished.
No, that's a serious charge that you've leveled, ma'am. Tampering of evidence, you're saying, has happened. Why would Mamata government, as per you, go ahead and do that? The crime scene also hasn't been tampered with. It's something that's been clarified upon.
Absolutely. There is no doubt about it. Because TMC is involved in it. Arjikor doctors, Arjikor nurses, RG interns, they are saying that everybody knows there is a TMC MP's nephew and some other doctors who are involved in this case. They are saying, I'm not saying, they are saying there's a huge racket of drugs, of sex and organs, selling of organs, which is going on over there. And this Abhaya probably came to know about it and she was silenced forever. I am not saying this. We have been saying this for days. So CBI needs to take lead from us and, get the real culprits behind it. And this is the reason why Mamata Banerjee is so keen on this case. You tell me, there are so many rapes happening. Why isn't Mamata Banerjee taking personal interest in all other cases? Why? Why is Abhaya's father saying that in cremation, when the cremation happened, there were 3 other bodies who were lying before Abhaya's body had reached there. But the police was in such a hurry to cremate Abhaya's body before the 3 bodies. Even the person who has cremated, who is in charge of the crematorium, he also said the same thing. So why this hush up? Why was the police in such a hurry? Why did Mamata Banerjee's police and the officials say that it's a case of suicide? Why did they start construction 200 feet from the crime scene? Why? There are so many questions.
Ma'am, these questions that you've raised, they've been raised on social media. Notices have been issued to many of these people. Some of your colleagues, BJP leaders, have been issued these notices. Senior doctors have received it. But the Kolkata police maintains right now that it's a crackdown on fake news, that theories can't do the rounds in such a sensitive case.
That is what yes, why? Not only colleagues in the BJP. Doctors are being called.
Yeah, doctors,
youth, normal students, normal public are being called because they have been protesting in social media. You tell me, a common sense. If Mamata Banerjee, who is saying, I wanted CBI and I was the one who has, ordered for CBI and I am asking for, hanging the culprit, Sanjay Roy. How does she know that it is only Sanjay Roy, a civic volunteer? How does she know? Why is always she's, talking about Sanjay Roy? Because she wants to deviate it from the main topic. So I feel that this is extremely intentional.
Okay.
Even on the 14th night, there were 5,000 hooligans, mob of TMC who had attacked RG hospital. Doctors were beaten. Nurses, patient party were beaten. And they ran to the 3rd floor to tamper the little leftover evidences that were there.
Didn't.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But this is all planned, because Mamata Banerjee and her government knows that there is a huge, corruption which is rotten things which are, beneath Abhaya's murder and rape, which is just not, the intention was just not murder and gang rape. There are certain other big issues which are being, trying to sideline and trying to cover it up. This TMC government is trying their best to do that. And that is the reason we feel that if Abhaya needs to get justice and CBI needs to deliver justice, there is one person who is standing in between, that is Mamata Banerjee.
Okay, you're saying Mamata Banerjee stands in the way, which is why you want her resignation. Agnimitra Paul, thank you for joining us. I'm going to cut across to breaking news that's coming in now because the Trinamool Congress has reacted once again to the protests that continue in Kolkata. Thank you, Agnimitra Paul, for joining us. And Kunal Ghosh of the TMC has asked protesters to stop their agitation. In fact, has questioned why they're continuing this protest. He's saying the Chief Minister has taken adequate steps. Why are the doctors protesting and not working? For the sake of common people and patients, please start treating and continue with your work. Kunal Ghosh of the Trinamool Congress essentially telling the doctors, why are you still out on the streets? Go do your work. Go back to normal. Now, this is the kind of comment that's coming in from the Trinamool Congress, and multiple of them, as I showed you in the beginning of this broadcast, where none of them are actually attempting to reach out to these protesting doctors to address their concerns, to meet their demands, to kind of reach out to them on ground and address some of their concerns. None of that. By the way, a majority of these protesters are women doctors who are extremely worried for their own safety. But But the TMC doesn't seem to care about any of that. They're saying get back to work, enough of all of this protests. Let's play out for you what Kunal Ghosh has said now.
ডাক্তার বাবুরা কর্মবিরতি তুলে কাজে যোগ দিন, কারণ লক্ষ লক্ষ মানুষ হয়রানির মধ্যে পড়ছেন, মৃত্যু ঘটছে। মুখ্যমন্ত্রী যা যা পদক্ষেপ নিয়েছেন, এখন তো তদন্ত সিবিআই এর হাতে, এখন কর্মবিরতিটা চালিয়ে কার কি লাভ হচ্ছে? ফলে আমরা অনুরোধ করব যে তারা কর্মবিরতি তুলে নিশ্চিতভাবে রোগীদের স্বার্থে, মানুষের স্বার্থে কাজে যোগ দিন।
So on one hand, the TMC making a complete mockery of this protest, mocking them, questioning their motive, questioning why they're still out there, saying get back to work already. And then on the other hand, if anyone dares to make a comment on social media, questions, criticizes the TMC, guess what they do? They slap a notice against them. And 65 people have been issued notices by the Kolkata police, who seem to be busy doing that rather than actually focusing on ensuring law and order in Bengal. Let's take you through the list of some of the people who've been issued notices and why. The lone name that stands out, the very first one, is of the Trinamool Congress MP Shukhendu Shekhar, because he dared to actually question the TMC, and that's why he's the only one from the party on this list. He asked the CBI to actually question the Kolkata CP Vineet Goyal, and so he's been summoned by the Kolkata police. Now, they claim it's a crackdown of fake news. What's the fake news there, is what everyone will ask. Dr. Kunal Sarkar expressed anguish over a hurried post-mortem and cremation. Again, what's the fake news there? Nobody knows. He's been summoned, and he's a veteran doctor, someone who's extremely famous in Calcutta. Similarly, Dr. Goswami, another reputed doctor in Bengal, decoded the post-mortem report, hinted that there's a possibility of gang rape, referred to the facts of the case to say, look, this could be gang rape, should be looked into. That's all he said. Again, no fake news, but he too has been summoned. Now, besides this, you have SFI, DYFI leaders who all shared some information related to this case. They've been summoned by the Kolkata police. 7 CPM leaders allegedly vandalized the emergency ward. They've been summoned. Now, this allegation is fair. In these cases, the summons completely make sense. Locket Chatterjee of the BJP allegedly revealed the rape and murder victim's identity and hence has been summoned. Again, this is a crime, but there is hypocrisy also that comes to mind here, and I'll explain why. While Locket Chatterjee has been summoned for revealing the victim's name and identity, a TMC MP, Mamata Banerjee, did exactly the same thing. She revealed the victim's name on social media, but guess what? No notice served, no action against her. And it's this double talk that's got everyone questioning the Kolkata police right now. There are thousands on social media who unfortunately have revealed the victim's identity, her picture, her name. No notices served there. There's no investigation to dig deep and find out who started this leak in the first place. TMC MP, like I said, Shukhendu Shekhar, is the only man from the party who's been summoned. And that's because he raised questions of the Mamata government. And this is what really, at this point, the Kolkata police is up to 65 people, again, let me highlight, have been issued these kind of notices for multiple reasons. And the Kolkata police maintains that this is all because of fake news. What's the fake news if you're raising legitimate questions on facts that have emerged in the case? What's the fake news when someone says, investigate this angle, investigate that angle? And you've got reputed doctors who've done this with their experience in the field speaking out, all of whom have now been summoned right now. We've accessed details, and even as these questions are arising over what exactly happened to Abhaya, whether this was gang rape, the post-mortem report gives us a glimpse of exactly what happened. It's also put forth horrific revelations which have come to the fore. We advise viewer discretion for our next report.
Over 14 injury marks on her body. Injuries on her vagina, head, neck and lips. Forceful insertion in the vagina. White, thick, viscous liquid inside vagina. And hemorrhage in the lungs. Parents allege Abhaya's body was cremated in a hurry to destroy evidence.
क्रिमिनेशन घाट का बारे में बोलता है, श्मशान घाट के बारे में। उधर 3 बॉडी पड़ा हुआ था, लेकिन उसका पहले ही हमारा लड़की का बॉडी जला दिया गया।
The doctor who was raped and murdered at Kolkata's RG Kaur hospital sustained extensive injuries before her death. These are the gut-wrenching revelations in the post-mortem report accessed by India Today. The cause of death has been determined to be manual strangulation associated with smothering. The lawyer representing the victim's family has claimed that she might have been murdered elsewhere and not at the hospital.
सीबीआई को ये शक हुआ है कि मर्डर वहां पर नहीं हुआ, दूसरी जगह पर मर्डर होके बॉडी वहां पर डाल दिया। अगर ये है तो ये बहुत गंभीर बात है।
The lawyer claims more people may be involved in the rape.
डॉक्टर्स ने जिन्होंने पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट देखा, उनका ये ओपिनियन है कि ये अकेला कोई आदमी के लिए करना संभव नहीं है, इसके पीछे जरूर कोई 2-3 आदमी होंगे। तो अस्पताल को जो जिम्मेदारी था, हमारा घर में हमारा बेटी मर गए, तो हमारा कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं है।
The parents of the victim are alleging a wider conspiracy behind her murder. They claim that the body of their daughter was cremated in haste, contradicting statements given by the Kolkata police and government.
দুটো ঘটনা যদি কখনো ঘটে আমরা সঙ্গে সঙ্গে অ্যাকশন নিই। আমরা চাই এই ধরনের ঘটনা যাতে না ঘটে, তার জন্য ফাঁসির দাবি করছি, যে দৃষ্টান্তমূলক শাস্তি হোক, যাতে আগামী দিন কেউ এই কাজ করতে সাহস না পায়।
जो क्रिमिनेशन घाट का बारे में बोलता है, श्मशान घाट के बारे में, उधर 3 बॉडी पड़ा हुआ था, लेकिन उसका पहले ही हमारा लड़की का बॉडी जला दिया गया। टाइम में तो हम लोग तो क्या बोले, हम लोग तो पूरा चूर हो गया।
The victim's family also questioned why the suicide theory was floated at first.
আবার ফোন করলাম, তখন উনি বললেন আপনারা কি আসছেন? আমি মানে উনি কে ছিলেন? আমি অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট সুপার বলছি, আপনার মেয়ে সুইসাইড করেছে।
Why this impression is being created that UD case necessarily means it is a case of suicide? It is not true. Please, the entire population is being made to understand that UD case means suicide. We wanted to make it a case of suicide. It is not true.
The CBI, which has taken over the probe, is ascertaining if there is a bigger conspiracy behind the rape and murder. So far, only one suspect, Sandeep Roy, a civic volunteer hired by the Kolkata police, has been arrested. With Indrajit Kundu and Anupam Mishra in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get your details now of the CBI's investigation. How far have they progressed? What are they focusing on? We break it down for you in several pointers of the angles that they're looking into. First is the former principal of RG Kaur Hospital, who has been grilled now for the 4th day in a row. And that's because the CBI reportedly has found discrepancies in his statement. So much so that in all likelihood he could be made to undergo a polygraph test as well. The CBI is looking into this particular aspect. Where did the suicide theory emerge from? Why was it floated? What was the intention behind doing that? Because allegedly it was this former principal who called the parents and said that, look, your daughter has taken her life. So they're looking into what was the motive of going ahead and telling the parents that. The CBI is also grilled 4 medical students. These were students who had dinner with the victim with Abaya on August 9th, the night that they all sat together and watched Neeraj Chopra perform at the Olympics. After they left, the victim went to sleep in the seminar hall, which is when the horrific crime took place. So these 4 medical students' statement is obviously extremely crucial. The CBI is also trying to piece together the exact sequence of events on August 9th. Who was in that entire area? Who was in the night shift in the hospital? When did she move to the seminar hall? When did the victim go to sleep? When did the accused enter? They're piecing together the entire sequence of events. The CBI is also probing if there were any witnesses, not in the seminar hall, but if there were others on night shift, on night duty, who heard the victim scream. Because going by the post-mortem report, it's clear that she did put up a fight. The CBI is also speaking to the family about the victim's close friends in hospital. There's an all-women team of the CBI currently at the victim's residence, constantly in touch with family members for any details or any names of her friends in the hospital and if there were any issues really that she was facing in the hospital. Now, the accused, the main accused, Sanjay Roy, the only man right now who's been arrested. A psychological test of him is also being conducted by the CBI. They're also trying to ensure that they gather as much evidence as they can against this particular monster who committed that crime. The question, however, that the CBI is also looking into right now, looking at all the information that they're picking up, is whether there's a larger conspiracy, whether there are more accused, because there's a lot of talk even now that this could have been a gang rape. We will be tracking all that and more. But let's focus on one of the principal characters, really, that's emerged in this entire case. Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, the former principal of RG Kar Hospital in Kolkata, who, by the way, stepped down after this incident, after he called the parents and said it was suicide, and then moments later gone ahead and given a fresh posting, a top post again in another reputed college by the Bengal government. And he's under intense scrutiny by the CBI. He's been questioned for over 40 hours, 4 days, back-to-back grilling. And he has a rather dubious past too. He's been accused of serious misconduct, financial corruption, misuse of corpses, and even running illegal operations in the RG Kar Hospital.
The doctor who was at the helm of affairs at RG Kar Hospital in Kolkata, where Abhaya was raped and murdered, is now under the scanner. The ex-principal, Dr. Sandeep Ghosh, is facing multiple marathon grilling sessions by the CBI. The former principal has so far been grilled for over 40 hours over 4 days. Dr. Ghosh faces damning charges from an ex-colleague at a Murshidabad hospital. Ghosh has been accused of engaging in corrupt practices, including allegations of financial misconduct. He was also accused of redirecting corpses meant for post-mortem to unauthorized uses, a violation that strikes at the core of medical ethics. He's also accused of running an illegal drug recycling racket and failing students for bribes.
वो बहुत ही करप्टेड आदमी है। वो आरजीकर मेडिकल कॉलेज में स्टूडेंट लोगों को फेल कराना, टेंडर ऑर्डर दे करके 20% कमीशन लेना और ये हॉस्टल वगैरह अलॉटमेंट में पैसा लेना और स्टाफ सिलेक्शन कमीशन, मतलब आरजीकर में जो भी काम होता था, पोस्टिंग हो, ट्रांसफर हो, हाउस स्टाफशिप हो, सब जगह वो पैसा खाते थे।
The ex-principal has a legacy of dubiously docking multiple transfer orders. Ghosh was transferred out of RG Kar twice in the past, but each time he managed to overturn the transfer order and stay put at the controversial hospital. He was shunted out a third time after Abhaya's rape horror, but was reinstated and given a fresh posting in just 4 hours by the Mamata Banerjee government. The Kolkata High Court, however, asked him to go on forced leave pending this investigation. The parents of the victim doctor had accused him of floating a suicide theory, a charge the CBI is also probing.
कोई रिजल्ट नहीं मिला है अभी तक। इसकी जो इंक्वायरी चल रहा है, इसका कोई रिजल्ट नहीं अभी तक मिला है। इसके लिए आशा करने के बाद हम क्या कर सकते हैं? एकदम हम लोग डिपार्टमेंट का कोई नहीं और कॉलेज का कोई हमारा साथ कोऑपरेट नहीं किया। पहले से तो हम ये बोल रहा है, यही तो दिक्कत है हम लोगों का, जो डिपार्टमेंट पूरा इसलिए इनवॉल्व है इसमें।
আমি অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট সুপার বলছি, আপনার মেয়ে সুইসাইড করেছে। বৃহস্পতিবার ডিউটি গেছে, শুক্রবার 10:53 তখন ফোন আসে প্রথম। প্যান্ট ট্যান্ট গুলো সব খোলা ফেলা ছিল, গায়ে শুধু একটা জামা ছিল, চাদর দিয়ে মোড়ানো ছিল, হাতটা এরকম ভাঙা ছিল, এখানে চোখ দিয়ে রক্ত পড়ছিল, মুখ দিয়ে রক্ত পড়ছিল। আমি বলেছি আমার মেয়ের এই অবস্থা দেখে কেউ বলবে না সুইসাইড করেছে।
Meanwhile, the BJP is alleging an organ trade scam in the hospital.
बहुत सारा मामला आरजीकर में हुआ था, किसी का सुसाइड हुआ था, किसी ने ऊपर से कूद गया था, बहुत सारा कुछ हुआ था इसमें। और इसमें संदीप घोष जो है वो भी इसमें नाम इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं। हमको लगता है कि पूरा के पूरा विचार होना चाहिए। आरजीकर में बहुत सारा कुछ रैकेट चलता है, ऑर्गन्स का भी रैकेट चलता है, लड़की लोग बेटी लोग वहाँ पे सुरक्षित नहीं है।
Does the disgraced former principal hold the key to the rot afflicting this Kolkata hospital? Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's get you now a quick update on the investigation by the CBI. As we told you earlier, a team of the Central Bureau of Investigation visited the victim's house and was there for 7 hours. They've recorded family members' statements and also gathered all possible information about the victim, about Abhaya, from the family. The CBI team has now wrapped up all the detailed statements that they've recorded and they've left from the victim's residence. But 7 hours they've spent there speaking to the family members, who just yesterday, speaking to the media, lashed out at the investigation and gave details about how they were rushed into going ahead and cremating their daughter's remains. So all of this is crucial information, of course, for the CBI in their investigation. For 7 hours, they've been based in the victim's residence. This was an all-women team, and they've recorded the family member statements as well. And we promise to get you every single update, detail that comes in on the investigation into this horrific rape case in Kolkata.